Thanks for popping in, guys. And today we're going to be talking about the GoPro 360 Max, and it's this little beastie here, and we're going to talk about how we can use this for cycling. So let's roll that intro and let's find out how good this camera really is. Okay, before we get started, let's just explain a little bit what a 360 camera is, because not everyone watching this video might know. They're probably familiar with GoPros, but they're not familiar with what's the difference between a normal GoPro 8 Hero 8 and a Max 360 camera. Now, a Max 360 camera, it actually has two cameras on it. It has one on one side of the camera, and it has one on the other side of the camera. And these two pictures from these two cameras are electronically inside the camera, stitched together. So what you do is you get a 360 view. So it actually sees what's happening all around the camera, above it, below it, in front of it, and behind it. And what makes this really, really clever is that once you've taken the picture or the video or the clip, what you can do is you can actually look around on the actual clip you've taken, and you can choose the part of the video you want. Or you could even have a picture-in-picture and have the picture front and the picture back on the same screen. And what is really magic is you took this in one shot. So this is the great advantage with this little 360 camera, or any other 360 camera that's on the market. So what we can do is we can bolt this on the bike anywhere, basically, like, doesn't even have to point at us, and it's going to capture everything. So we're going to have got some footage that we're going to show. We're going to see how that's going to work, and we're also going to show how you mount it on the bike. Now, I've just got a little clip here that we can just watch, and you can see that the picture goes up. It goes up into the palm trees, and then it goes right over, and you can see me. Then it comes back to where I'm riding. Now, I did not move the camera at all when I took this picture. All I did is rotate it in post, and you can actually select that when you're using the editor that comes with the GoPro, and you just download that as you would any other app that goes with any other product. Now, I won't talk about the app too much. There's lots and lots of GoPro Max 360 videos on how to use that. It is pretty easy. It's not like a professional editor, so pretty much you can learn that in maybe half an hour, and you get used to it pretty quickly. So that's not really an issue, and GoPro have made that nice and simple. So that's a big plus for GoPro. So how do you mount this on your bike? Well, I've got just a little picture here to show you how. And basically what I've done is use a GoPro out front mount where you put your cycling computer on, and I've just put some extensions on the bottom of the out front mount and mounted the camera horizontal on the front. Now, in this position here, it'll still pick up everything, even though it's not pointing really at anything. I like to normally just tilt it up a little bit so I can see the screen a bit better. But yeah, this is all you need to do to mount it to capture your 360 pictures. Okay, so we know what the GoPro Max does now. We know how it works. It's a 360 camera, you don't have to point at anything. And we know that we can select whatever we want to in post, or we can put like a picture-in-picture, so we can have what's at the front, what's at the back. So we basically can use this, and we don't have to move it. So we know that. We've discussed that. So what really is the kicker about this? What makes this better than any other 360 camera on the market for cycling? And it's the audio. GoPro have done some really good work on this camera with the audio. It's actually got a little selection inside where you can actually turn it on for the wind, and this works fantastic. And I don't know what they've done, but this camera it has 6 microphones apparently. I don't know if it somehow picks up the noise from all 6 cameras and then basically gets rid of it, or whatever, or how it works. But it works very, very well. And that's what makes this camera so good, because, you know, a lot of the other action cameras, yeah, you can be riding along and you can film yourself, but you have to put some, you know, different type of microphone into it because the audio is so poor. But this thing, no, you just pick up the camera, you can just whack it on your bike or chuck it in your backpack, and then you can put it on your bike whenever you want, and then you don't have to need anything. There's no accessories you need to get what you want to do. And it films everything that's around the camera. It films you, it films where you're riding, what's on the side, everything. And this is where I think that this camera is exceptional. Well, just to give you an example of the quality of the audio on the GoPro, so you can make up your own mind what you think of the audio. I have some clips that I did earlier in the week, and I was just talking about how good the weather was because we had a beautiful day because it's the middle of winter here in Australia. And you can actually hear that I'm riding through the city where I'm not going that fast, and there's a lot of background noise, and it's quite clear. But as I go over the traffic lights, I go down a hill and the speed increases to probably about 30 to 35 kilometers an hour, and you can hear that the sound starts to get a little bit like it's in a tube. The quality of the sound does decrease somewhat, but it's still usable. Welcome back to another Wanos Photos video. Just heading down Barrack Street in Perth, West Australia, just down towards the bell tower and down towards the river. Back to normal. Streets were full again as they were pre-COVID virus days, so yeah, it kind of actually is a bit weird. So let's just see what the pluses are. One, you don't actually have to point the camera at anything, so you don't have to touch it when you're riding. Two, come on Wayne, you can't count. Two, right? It has great sound. The sound is for that sort of situation. Riding along in a windy condition works very, very well. And three, you don't have to hold the camera. So you can just ride as you would normally ride. You don't have to be like trying to ride with one hand and, and let's say if a dog runs out and your hand's off the brakes and you end up crashing. It's safety-wise, it's 100%. So that's why I really rate this camera. It's really good. There's also a couple of other features that this GoPro Max has up its sleeves, and one of them is you can use it in like the normal GoPro mode, like the Hero 8 mode. It actually has a wide view and the normal GoPro view. The only disadvantage to that is you can't do it in the 4K view and 4K 60 like you can with the normal GoPro Hero 8. But you can still get that same view, that same picture, that same aspect ratio. So if you just want to use it like a normal GoPro, you can. The other thing it has is voice commands. So you can just basically say to it, if it's bolted onto your handlebars or you have it on a selfie stick, you can just say, GoPro start recording, and it starts recording. Or GoPro stop recording, and it stops recording. It works most of the time. You do need to speak quite loud, but it does work, and it worked quite effectively. So, if you don't want to take your hands off the handlebars, or you've got it on a selfie stick, or even if you've got it mounted on something where you want to take a picture, you don't even have to go and press a button. You can just talk to it and it will do what you say it to do. So they're really, really nice extra features that they've got in the GoPro. It does have some cons that I find a little bit annoying, and these are more to do with how you actually use the camera or use the clips in post. Now, because the clips are 360, you can't just take the little memory card out of the camera and download it, stick it into your computer, stick it into your phone, or stick it into your iPad, which is what I use. So what you need to do is you need to connect this camera Wi-Fi to your iPad or your phone, and then you've got to like download them. And it's just another step. It's just another thing you need to do. And then what you need to use is the GoPro app on your phone or on your iPad to choose your composition of your video in post. So it is another process to use, and it's a little bit of a pain in the neck. And what I've also found as well is the GoPro app is a little bit unstable. Like you'll be doing a clip and it'll just crash on you. Okay guys, well that's my review, and thanks for watching, and highly recommend the GoPro Max. I think it's the 360 technology and the way these cameras work, and the way GoPro have really spent some time on the microphones, really making these cameras the ultimate action camera on the market. Thanks for watching guys.